Today I'm coming to you to answer a question and to give you my thoughts on an idea of something that I've heard countless times from different people who have sat down or just asked me questions. And that question is, how do I get started in an exercise program? I've been thinking about exercising for a long time, and I feel like now is the right time. I'm motivated and I want to go get it. I think that's great. And the response that I've always got for people is, questions around exercise history, sports history, athletic history. When was the last time you exercised? How often were you exercising? Kind of in your last little exercise window. And a lot of times people really get cranked up. By the time when they stop exercising, they're doing a lot. They're capable of a lot. They're at a pretty high fitness level, so they can do a lot. They can ask a lot of their body. They can exercise pretty regularly without risk of injury and things. And sometimes we stop. We have kids. We get a new job. We stop playing sports. Lots of things can cause us or help us stop exercising, right? We can use a lot of things to stop exercising. But that's not the point of this. The point is, what should you do when you decide to get back into exercise? Let me first lay out one of the dangers, anyway, is going too hard too fast at the beginning. Your greatest potential risk of injury is the first 2 to 4 weeks you start any exercise program. The reason why is because your body isn't used to moving as much as you're probably going to ask it to. If you jump into a new exercise program with the same intensity, physical intensity, that you did at the end of your last exercise cycle, when you stopped exercising, before your child was born, before you got that new job that took up a lot of your time, while you were playing sports, you're exercising a couple hours a day, you might get 1 day a week off. Maybe you were doing 3-4 times a week for an hour or 90 minutes. And the exercise selection was more advanced. You weren't recovering. You were doing maybe more high intensity activities as opposed to base building, lower intensity activities to activate the nervous system and train your body in the movement patterns that are required for some of those high intensity exercises. So the first 2 to 4 weeks of any new exercise program are the most crucial, I think, because they set you up for success. Now, if you go out too hard, the problem might be that you injure yourself. And if you injure yourself and you've got an athletic mindset where you're not going to stop, then you're going to just you're going to be behind that injury for the entire length of time that you try and exercise until you decide to back off and let yourself heal. But if you do it slowly, you take your time, and you're methodical with some simple exercises at the front of end of an exercise program, you can avoid that, and your program can progress in rhythm the way it's supposed to, building you to the fitness level that you're looking for. So the best thing you can do, and I just had this conversation with the guy yesterday he's young, so it probably doesn't, but he's still running into some nagging things, at the beginning, front end of his exercise. I said, hey, the best thing you can do for the first 2 to 4 weeks, I said, exercise selection matters. There are a few things you can do to help prepare and prime and prep your body for more vigorous exercise, but all you got to do is show up. You just got to show up. You got to have that mindset that I'm going to show up and I'm going to do a couple of bridges. I'm going to walk. I'm going to do some planks, some core exercises, some basic lunge patterns, some basic hinge patterns, some basic general strength. You can do the old exercises that the simple single joint, double joint movements, that the bicep curls, the bench, the lat pull downs. Those are all good exercises to incorporate into any exercise program, regardless of the intensity. But those are great exercises to start with. And a friend of mine who nearly died in an auto accident, actually, after being a very intense power lifter, very, very strong man. He said, hey, if I can't do it 50 times, weight-wise, I'm not going to do it. And I don't know if 50 needs to be the number, but early on in any program, you should be thinking around the 15 reps to 25 repetition range, at least 15. And the number of sets will also make a difference. So when you're getting started, do one set of each exercise at 15 repetitions with a very, very low weight. What you're trying to do is not only train your muscles to get bigger and stronger, but you're trying to train your nervous system to actually perform the movements. If you jump into explosive movements, heavy deadlifts, big squats, any type of kettlebell exercises, if you load your body with too much weight without sufficiently firing up or priming your nervous system to be able to perform those movements and tell your muscles when it's time to actually lift those loads or do that work, you're setting yourself up for injury big time, because your joints aren't going to support it. Your joints aren't going to be able to support that, and neither are your muscles. You're just going to stretch them and pull them. And you could probably on day one go out and do a very heavy activity load, and the next 3 days you wouldn't be able to do anything. You'd be completely wiped out, body would be shot, and you may do damage that will take weeks or months to heal. So it doesn't make any sense to do that. The key early on in an exercise program is frequency and intensity. Exercise often, but exercise at a very low intensity. Require little of your muscular system. I think a great thing to do when you are just starting a new exercise program is to walk, do elliptical, do the rower, bike, do something that is going to get your heart rate up a little bit to start building your cardiovascular fitness. But don't jump into the exercises you did when you were working out 90 minutes 4 times a week as an athlete in college or something like that. You're going to disappoint yourself because you're going to be at a much higher risk of injury, and you're not going to be able to perform at the level you did when you were working out 3 to 5 times a week and going hard and doing those types of things. So your best approach to starting a new exercise program is show up, be patient, and build your program slowly. Keep the end in mind. What are you training for? What's your ultimate goal? And start slow. And I say that with a very strong hint of caution, because I've seen it happen so many times where someone is very excited to get started in their new life, as a active individual, and they show up on day one, and let's be honest, they expect too much. They expect too much. They expect too much from their body, having neglected the movement patterns that they're asking it to perform for months, sometimes years, sometimes decades. So show up and be patient. That's what you can do when you're starting a new exercise program, and that's probably the best thing you can do when you're starting any new exercise program. So I'm attaching 5 exercises along with this video that are perfect for you to get started on your exercise program. And these exercises should be done in addition to maybe 15 to 20 minutes of some sort of cardiovascular activity. Low intensity, base building cardiovascular activity. 2 to 4 weeks of it. Walk. As you feel you're getting more fit and a walk isn't doing as much to your breathing as it was, maybe mix in 20 to 30 seconds of a light jog just to elevate your heart rate. That right there is a sign that your fitness level is improving and increasing. And as your fitness level continues to grow, you can grow your intensity with it. But I caution you, don't jump in full speed. You'll be sorry you did, or you possibly could be sorry you did. The first 2 to 4 weeks are the most crucial to any new exercise program to avoid injury and stay motivated. You don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt for 2 weeks from one workout because you won't do anything in those 2 weeks. Frequency, low intensity. Add on 15 to 20 minutes of cardio to the 5 exercises that I'm sending you, and you're looking at 30 to 40 minutes max per exercise session, and you can do these 5 days a week because the intensity is so low. In 2, 3, 4 weeks time, you will be glad you did. Your fitness level will be at a place where you're able to perform exercises nearer the exercises you were last time you left exercise, and you'll have built it in a way that your body won't be mad at you. So I hope that all helps, and peace.